All right, so now we're in class 4, exercise 2, class 4, exercise 2, and we're talking about JavaScript. You should read through uh, this whole article a little bit, but basically JavaScript is code written not in PHP but in JavaScript, and JavaScript is understood by all the browsers. JavaScript is a client-side language, meaning that it's executed by the browser, not by the server. PHP is interpreted by the server. JavaScript is interpreted by the browser. And there's a long history to JavaScript, um, somewhat related to Java once upon a time. It does use uh, similar Java notation. But the takeaway here, the main takeaway is that JavaScript code can live in three places, or I should say it can come from three places. It can be inline right inside the HTML file with a script tag. It can also be pulled in from the server that served the original page. So the original page comes to you and says, go get more code, and goes and grabs the JavaScript. That's the scenario that's shown on the screen here. And it's also possible to tell your browser to give it a page and says, oh, by the way, go get JavaScript from somewhere else. And so your code ultimately runs on the browser, on the front end browser, on the client, but it can either be written inside the HTML page, it can come from the web server, original web server itself, or it can come from a third-party web server. So in this case, we're just going to make a very, very simple, um, very simple JavaScript file and see how JavaScript behaves. That's it. So we're going to come here and then we're going to create a new file. Oops. File, new file. Okay, that's weird. This used to be easier to know. Plus right there, boom, that's what we want. Okay, we're going to call it alert.html, and we're going to copy some of the JavaScript here. And you notice what's happening. This is a very plain vanilla HTML file. However, so it's HTML file. However, there is a feature here called, this is a comment, but there's a tag called script, and whatever you put inside of script is called JavaScript. It's JavaScript code. Presumably you could run a different type of script here, but nowadays pretty much everything is JavaScript. So this JavaScript is inline, written in the file itself, and it processes the form, and it outputs the message that comes from the form. So the form, instead of making a post to another HTML file or PHP file, it basically calls the JavaScript that's up above to execute, to do something. So on the submit button, JavaScript calls the Postgres form or process form, and the process forms gets the element from the DOM, or the document object model, or the referenced by the word document here, and it just says alert and throws it up on the screen. All right, and then there's a sleep function here, which gets called by whom? Maybe later. Oh, yeah, in case we don't. Yeah, nobody calls a sleep function right now, so let's not worry about it for right now. All right, so let's see what that page comes up as. Alert HTML. Who is your daddy? Okay, and let's show me the message. And look at that. Who is your daddy? So this got executed on the client side, and nothing had to come to the server for that to happen. That's it. That's exercise number 2, is writing some JavaScript inline. Okay, now that we know all about JavaScript, we're gonna go on and do some more. Hello. We're gonna go do some more JavaScript damage here.